I mean, I don't know if it's like the best story, but it sticks in my mind for whatever reason. So I guess I'll share this one. But I remember I was at a screenwriters lab, and we were put into peer groups, and we with 4 people. So I'd read 3 other scripts, and the other 3 had read mine, and then we took turns giving feedback with each other. And it had come time for mine, and I felt good about this script. It was and I was excited for the feedback, and 2 of the people are giving me good feedback. It's really good, little really sharp notes, really good, helpful stuff. But this other person is just kind of silently listening and nodding, and so finally it comes to her to. I'm ready to hear what she's about to say. I feel like she's been pretty quiet, and she goes, "Okay, so your script takes place on a farm." And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Have you ever been on a farm before?" And I just felt like the wind got like knocked right out of my sails. And we become good friends since, and so we always talk about the moment. And it clearly affected me more than what she meant. It was a smaller note than maybe I took it, but it emotionally felt like, it's just like, you have no clue what you're talking. Like, why are you writing this thing? You have no clue what you're talking about. And the script ultimately isn't about farming at all, so it's not super central. And I was able to go back in and sort of fix some of those things that, oh, that's actually not how a farm works, or oh, that's actually maybe how crops would be. But I just do remember that moment of feeling like I don't know what I'm doing, and to me that's a moment that sticks out for me as feeling very real in the moment, and the fear of, it's not that I don't know what I'm talking about in farming, but like, I don't know if that's what she's thinking about, then clearly this work is just not, there's nothing, it must be empty, it must be not resonating with anyone if people are just saying, oh, that's not how farming works. And I think about that story often because that fear I now realize that fear wasn't quite real. That's just an insecurity that I think we all have as people sharing our work, and that's something that will happen and is okay to happen, and you learn to live with it when your work, it doesn't even matter if it does or doesn't resonate with someone. If you feel like it does or doesn't resonate with someone, that's more about you than anything else, and just put that away and just focus on the work.
Do you now take that one instance as, it doesn't even matter what someone says, it's more your perception of it? And so even if that person was intending to take your power away, or even if they just had constructive criticism, but you realize now that like maybe it's like a muscle, and so now it's not as you're not as squeamish, no matter whatever it's arms crossed and they're just totally silent, and you're like, oh, this person's not buying me at all, but you've become more comfortable.
Yeah, because I recognize that reaction is way more about me, especially since I've become friends with the person, and she has been one of the biggest supporters of both me and specifically that script. It was actually her, like, she loved it, of everything that she's read from me, because she's read other stuff since, and that still remains her favorite. And she loved it so much that she just wanted to talk about these little specific things about farming because she really resonated with something else. And so once I learned all of that, and it just really recontextualized everything. Like, oh, this is just about me and my reaction to my insecurity. So it's fine. Like, the work is gonna be what it is. And if I am so attached to it in that way, like, I'm only gonna be feeling that all the time. And that's just, I don't wanna be doing that. So just really being like, you pour yourself out on the page, and then you have to kind of separate yourself from that thing. And that story always reminds me of that yes, I try to spill my guts on the page and choose something real and truthful, but ultimately that's not me. That's the work I could put out at that time, and if that's what it is, then that's what it is. That's not actually me. It feels like me, but it's not. And I can't live and die off of other people's reactions to that.
So for a new screenwriter who's just getting their work out and hasn't maybe developed that thick skin yet, it sounds like they just have to go through it and it forms on its own.
Yeah, you have to go through it. And I think the quicker you can go through it, just get your stuff in front of people. The more people can be like, tell you this is terrible, the better off you'll be in the long run, because you will always feel that way, that it's not good enough, I think. And the more you just learn to, I think, live with that, the better you'll be at separating yourself from it.